Hello everyone, and welcome back to Down to Earth Developments. In this video today, we're going to be talking about the 3 most effective confidence boosters for young individuals and late teenagers. Now, these aren't necessarily going to be the easiest things to do, but they will have the biggest impact on your confidence out of anything else. Now, of course, this is in my opinion, so there'll be some disagreements about this, but these are the things that have helped me the most with my confidence, so let's jump straight into it. Now, starting off with number 1, we are going to talk about FOMO. FOMO stands for the fear of missing out, as I'm sure you're all aware, and it's one of the biggest obstacles that face people in society today, especially, as we're talking about in this case, young individuals, so people in their early 20s and late teens. FOMO has the ability to absolutely dominate your life, and it can completely control how you present yourself, what you do, how you act, and it can completely change who you are and keep you separate from the person that you want to be. Now, by learning to overcome FOMO, bear in mind this is a very difficult thing, and I'll probably talk about this in a separate video later on, like going into more detail about it, as this is just a brief overview. But by overcoming FOMO, you will learn how to say no to things that aren't important to you, and you'll be able to say yes to the things that help you grow, the things that make you better, and things that make you into the person that you want to be, while saying no to the things that don't align with your long-term goals. And by overcoming FOMO, you'll realize you don't need to be constantly worried about what everyone's thinking about you and what everyone else is trying to do. And you can focus on your goals and focus on the things that you want to achieve in life. And by doing so, and by not giving in to fear and focusing on what's important to you, you can build the confidence by becoming the person that you want to be. And that person will be confident. The second thing on this list is self-acceptance. Now this feeds into the idea of FOMO, as it relates to you trying to become the person that you want to be, and also accepting yourself for who you are already. By becoming self-accepting, you'll be able to acknowledge your flaws and make them a part of you. And rather than constantly beating yourself up because you didn't do this and you didn't do that, instead you can take a step back and acknowledge, okay, look, I'm not that good at this thing right now and it's making me not feel great about myself. But rather than spending your energy beating yourself up, you can put your energy instead into working towards results and improvements in that area. So let's say, for example, that you're not as strong as you want to be. If you've properly accepted yourself for who you are, you will acknowledge, yeah, I'm not as strong as I want to be. So what am I going to do about it? And by having this progression, this acceptance of growth, like I need to grow in this area, what will I do about it? Rather than just constantly being upset and not being happy with yourself, you'll accept who you are right now, so you won't feel that sort of that guilt and that self-hatred about the fact that you're not where you want to be right now. And instead you'll build confidence by actively putting in the effort to grow from one spot to the next, getting a little bit stronger every single time. And with that, your confidence will grow. Now, as I said, this links quite nicely back into point 1, because by knowing the direction you want to go in and focusing on your personal growth, not only will you get more confident, but you'll also feel more able to say no to things. And you will know what is good for you and what is bad for you, and you'll be better able to juggle those things and decide what you're going to do with your time. Now, for the third thing on this list, I know the last 2 have been not so easy to implement, but this one is the easiest thing you can do right now to completely change the way you view yourself over time is to simply stand up straight. Now this sounds like such a simple thing, and it's probably something you've heard a lot from a lot of different people. But I know from my experience that when I was starting out my self-development journey, the first thing that I felt able to do, out of all the advice I was given, was learn to stand up straight. And it had such a positive effect on my confidence. The reason why is because, first of all, when you're hunched over, when your shoulders are pulled forwards, when your spine is curved like this at the top and your head's down, you're looking at the floor, and you look like you're basically sitting down and typing at a desk. When you're walking and standing up, you're portraying yourself as someone who is nervous, who is closed off from the world and is confined. And the mind-body connection is very important here. By setting your body in such a position that you seem to be afraid of what's around you. It's like you tell your mind by doing this that you're not confident, and this of course is going to have an effect on you. Now, not only will this bring you benefits from the mind-body connection, it's also going to make you feel more confident because other people are going to start to respect you more. If you're walking down the street and you see these two figures, these two people, and they have this form in the way they're sitting, so we've got the one with the bad form and the one with the good form, what is your initial perception of these people? Now, of course, everyone's going to view this differently, but for the majority of people, you will look at these two and think, okay, which is the one I want to interact with? Who looks confident? The one that's standing up straight with the shoulders back, arms either by their sides or open, with an open posture, head up. That is the confident person. That will be the person you pick out of the two that is the confident one. The person who's looking down and has hunched shoulders and a curved back, that will most likely be the one that you perceive to be less confident in themselves and a bit more anxious and a bit scared. Now, the importance of other people's perception of us is very clear because we are highly social animals. Humans are very, very sociable, and we're able to pick up and read other people's bodily cues without even realizing we're doing it. So, when other people perceive us as more confident, we will start to get more respect from them, and as a result, you will then feel more confident. It's like a loop, and you have control. You can break the loop at any point by changing your posture. But if you don't change your posture, nothing changes. In other words, what you're doing by standing up straighter is you're tricking yourself into thinking you're more confident than you are. And by doing so, you actually become more confident than you were. It's that mind-body connection. We can use our bodies to change the way we perceive our value. And it's a very important skill. I used to sort of hunch and walk quite quickly everywhere, and instead I stopped doing that. I started to stand up straight. I walked slowly with purpose, and it was it was a very strange thing to think about, like constantly having to think about how you're moving. But was it worth it? Yes. Now I feel a lot more self-confident, and it's because I've learned to carry myself in such a way that I portray this energy, and through my body and through other people, this energy feeds into my confidence and sort of shows me that I am confident. While the first two things on this list may be more difficult to implement, the third one is very easy. It's something that you can start doing today. It will cost you some mental energy. You will have to actively think about your posture for a while, but over time it will just become natural to stand and walk in this way. And like the other two, it's still an exponential process, so the growth will be slow at the start, but within the first few weeks or so, you'll start to see that turning point, and you'll see your confidence rise very, very quickly relative to other processes, which is why I think it's so effective and so helpful to help you build your confidence. I hope this video has helped you guys out a lot and given you some things to think about. I will be going into more detail about these things, and if you did want to consider a process through which you may increase your confidence, I highly recommend checking out my last video, which is based on the 50-day project. I won't say much more here, but if you are interested in a 50-day project to improve basically everything in your life, do check out my video on it. I think it's very interesting. It's something that I'm personally doing, and I'm about 3.5 weeks into it right now, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, do jump over there and check that out. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.